You are listening to The World as I See It podcast. 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 As I see it podcast.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your host, and this is the second part of our miniseries breaking down the huge spectrum of vision loss. Now, before we get into the specifics of these diseases and treatments, I want you to know that I am not a doctor or a health professional. This information is just for general knowledge and conversation. Now, a quick recap for new listeners. Last time we talked about the center disappearing, that loss of detail and sharp focus caused by macular degeneration. It's a tough reality where the edges of the room are fine, but the face you're talking to is just a blur. Today, we are completely flipping the script. We're moving from losing the central part of the vision to looking at the frame, the peripheral part of the vision. We're talking about a condition called glaucoma. And this is the main cause of peripheral vision loss. So try to think about this for a second. You might see what's directly in front of you perfectly, but the world on either side is just silently closing in. Doesn't that sound terrifying? So, what is glaucoma exactly? It is a group of diseases that primarily damage your optic nerve. So, the optic nerve is basically the main electrical cable that connects your eyes, your camera, to your brain. So, if you damage that nerve, the signals don't get through. The biggest cause of this damage is pressure. See, your eye, it is a system filled with fluid, and when the drainage system gets clogged, the pressure inside the eye, what doctors call intraocular pressure, it starts to build up. So you can think of it like a hose or a tire being slowly overinflated. Eventually, that pressure starts crushing those delicate nerve fibers at the back of the eye. And here's the scary part. Glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight. Why? Because unlike the central loss where you immediately notice something's wrong, this pressure buildup is usually painless. So the loss of the side vision, it happens so slowly that your brain actually works overtime to fill in those gaps. So, to simplify this, doctors, they will usually talk about two main kinds of glaucoma. The first one is open angle glaucoma. And this is the most common kind and the silent thief. So the eye's drainage structure, it looks open, but the fluid drains too slowly, kind of like a sink with a slow clog. And that pressure, it builds gradually over time. And so the vision loss, it's slow and it's very sneaky. Now, angle closure glaucoma, this is the urgent one. This happens when the drainage angle, it suddenly gets blocked. It's like stepping on a garden hose. The pressure, it spikes rapidly, which can be very painful and cause quick, severe vision loss. It's absolutely a medical emergency. So, the visual experience of glaucoma is often described as tunnel vision. try to picture this. Imagine looking at the world through a toilet paper tube. I know, weird. The center of your focus, the person that you were talking to, the text that's on your phone, might be perfectly clear, but everything to the left, right, top, and bottom, it's gone. In terms of daily life, this flips everything that we talked about with central loss. Someone with macular degeneration can walk around fine because they have their side vision. But someone with glaucoma, they have massive mobility and safety issues. If they don't have a cane, they will bump into door frames. They don't see cars or bikes approaching from the side. They literally have no idea someone is walking right beside them until they physically touch them or speak to them. The independence challenge here, it's huge because the world outside the tube just doesn't register. It's a completely different kind of visual disability than central loss. Even with severe tunnel vision, many people with glaucoma, they retain enough function to have light perception. So that means that they can tell if a room is dark or if it's bright. They can also see shadows move even if the detail is not there. This is a crucial distinction from total blindness. The good news is if glaucoma is caught early, it can often be manageable. Now, you can't reverse the damage to the optic nerve that's already happened. That part is permanent. But the main goal of all treatment is to stop the pressure from causing more damage, to save whatever sight is left. This is usually done with simple eye drops that reduce the fluid production or help the eye drain better. So sometimes doctors, they use laser treatments or surgery. The key message here is that early detection is what saves your sight when you have glaucoma. Understanding glaucoma helps us appreciate that vision loss isn't a single experience. It's a terrifying spectrum that can sneak up on you from the edges, leaving the center, intact, but severely limiting your ability to move through the world safely. So next time we are talking about a third massive cause of vision change. Retinitis pigmentosa, or RP. And this is a condition where the challenge is written right into our genes. So, if you have questions about this episode, feedback on the series, or just ideas for future topics, reach out to me at theworldasIseeitpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening and for joining me on this journey to break down all of this assumption that blindness is just darkness. I hope that these conversations help you to just learn more and give you a different perspective. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it and rate it. Until next time, this has been The World as I See It. Stay curious and keep listening.
You've been listening to The World as I See It podcast.